Hi, this is Bruce Buffer, your voice of the Octagon, and you're listening to MMA Mental.
This post-fight interview is brought to you by MMA Mental, MMA Worldwide, and YourMMA.tv. It is sponsored by Almighty Fightwear. For more post-fight interviews from the biggest promotions, please subscribe to the MMA Mental YouTube channel. Also, like MMAmental.com, MMA Worldwide, Your MMA, and Almighty Fightwear on Facebook. And on Twitter, please follow at MMA Mental, at Your MMA, and at Almighty MMA. Joined by Dustin Ortiz. Dustin is coming off of a win at UFC on Fox 11 against Ray Borg, taking his UFC record to 2-1 and his overall MMA record to 13-3. Dustin, thank you very much for joining me.
I appreciate it. How's it going?
Going well. Congratulations. Another impressive performance.
Thank you. I try.
Now let's talk a little bit about the fight then. Of course, it was your third UFC fight and you were facing a guy making his UFC debut, Ray Borg. What were your views on Ray Borg as an opponent going into the fight?
Honestly, I didn't really know much about him. I didn't really see any video or anything like that. I knew he was going to be a super tough kid, being undefeated, and he was a part of a good organization. So, I knew it wasn't going to be a walk in the park, but I definitely felt like I had the upper hand, being it was my third fight. It was his first fight, so I was just going to go in there and try to get the finish and kind of put it behind me after that.
What was your game plan going into the fight?
It's kind of more, I don't really have a specific game plan. I like to go in there knowing what I'm going to do, but ready to adjust at any moment. So I would like to have kept the fight standing a little bit more. I felt like I was a couple steps ahead of him in that game. So it was just, I went in there and I started pressuring him, and he kind of went up against the cage, and it's just natural for me to get that takedown, and so that's kind of what happened. But I would have liked to kept it standing a little bit more.
Was there anything about Ray Borg's game that surprised you?
Yeah, I figured he was gonna go and take my back and try to take it to the ground, especially once I started letting my hands go. What was surprising was his strength when he got to my back. It was just like, like I said before, we could have rolled down the side of a mountain and the kid would have been there at the bottom, so he was just super strong, and he took my back super fast. So that was pretty surprising. Other than that, I knew he was going to be a tough kid.
It was a pretty exciting fight to watch as well, but going on the way, you'd lost your last fight by a split decision. Some people felt controversial. It was the decision was controversial, sorry. How did you feel when this fight went to the judges? Were you confident, or were you just not sure?
Yeah, no, I was super confident. I just felt like I was winning the entire fight. Even when he had my back, he didn't really do much. He landed a couple good strikes when he had my back, and then he landed a nice knee, and I really felt like that was all that he got on me. He picked me up and slammed me to the ground a couple of times, but he did nothing with it. As soon as I landed on my butt, I was firing shots. I was landing elbows to the body. I was just active. Every opportunity that I had, I was moving, I was going, I was trying to do something. Whereas, he was kind of backing up on our feet, and then once it got to the ground, he wasn't very active. So I was looking for a unanimous decision. I didn't think it would be a split decision, so that was the only surprise I had.
How did you feel after the fight? Have you got any knocks or injuries?
No, I'm injury free. I'm ready to go. This week I'm forcing myself to take a little time off and let my body heal up. I put a long training camp together, so that's all I do is just train. So let my body heal up just from the adrenaline dump, and it was a fight. He did land a couple good shots. Like I said, the knee hurt my nose pretty good, so that's the only thing really that I walked away just kind of like, damn, he got me good.
Yeah, I mean, he did land with some good shots, but the fight did seem to be going in your favour. Now, since you've joined the UFC, I mean, you made your UFC debut back in November, literally 6 months ago now, but you've fought 3 times. You've been very active. When are you looking to get back in again?
As soon as possible. This is what I do. I'm young, I'm healthy, so as long as that's in play, then this is what I want to do. I want to keep the fight coming. I'm an active person, so as long as I can stay injury free, I want to keep the fights going every 3 months. That's perfect for me. That's the way I like to keep it going. And it's a little bit hard when you don't have a fight lined up, because you want to train and you want to get better, but at the same time, I like to have goals and something to work for. So as long as I have that fight, that date set, then I perform that much better in training and every day. So yeah, I just like to keep the fights going. June sounds good.
June sounds good. Now that you're 2-1, obviously, and it's all about moving up the rankings in the UFC. Of course, the flyweight division is still a relatively new division. Have you got your eye on anybody you'd like to face to help you move up the rankings?
I mean, you just kind of said it. I don't have anybody in particular. Just the next person they put in front of me. I'm young. I want to get this on the first shot. I want to get to the top. I've already had one setback with my last fight, so you don't get very many opportunities to get that number one contender spot, that title shot. So I've been thinking about it, and it's just the next person who's going to take me to the next level. That's the fight I want. I'm not going to turn down a fight, that's for sure. So whoever they offer me, that's kind of the fight I'm going to take.
Talking about fighting for the title, then, realistically, then, with you being 2-1, and obviously on a 1-fight win streak, how many fights do you feel you need to win in a row to get a title fight?
I don't know. They keep adding guys to the flyweight division left and right. So I'd like to get in 2-3 more fights. I'm thinking 3 would be reasonable for the position that I'm in to easily get a title shot after that, especially with impressive wins. My last fight was controversial. This one, it was kind of on the fence. I don't like to be a decision fighter. I want to be exciting. I want to get the stop. I want to get a finish. I want to get a knockout, submission, something like that. So I think if I could, finish the next 2 or 3 guys, that should easily put me in the number one contender spot.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Well, I really appreciate you giving me your time today, Dustin, so thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely, anytime.
Before we let you go, I just want to give you a chance to do some shout-outs. So if you'd like to, obviously let the listeners know about your Facebook and your Twitter, and then any sponsors, friends, family you want to shout out as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd like to thank pretty much everybody who helped me out during this fight. MMA Inc., Rufus Sport, all my Rufus Sport coaches and teammates. Without them, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. Torque, People Finder, Marco Crane and Rigging Company, the Mob Cabin, keeping my beard looking good. Diamond MMA, the WAC, Next Level. They got my conditioning on point. My strength and everything that I needed was right there, And then my Metro Chiropractic, they always got my back over there. So that's my team right there. And then follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. It's all the same, Dustin Ortiz MMA.
Who's that shouting in the background? Is that Mike?
Yeah, Biggie's here, but that's my boy Rick Gladiator Glenn. He fights World Series.
Excellent.
He's a beast, 145.
I'll keep a lookout for him.
For sure.
Well, thank you very much for your time, Justin. I can't wait to see you step in the cage again.
Thank you. You guys take it easy.